Hello, and welcome to Review I Do, You Do with Mr. Payne. What we're going to do for question number 17, write this in interval notation first. So I want to take a look at my numbers. We're going to look at the negative 10 here and the 8, that's where the dots are. And they're both open dots. So on the left-hand side, I'm going to have an open dot because the open circle goes with a parenthesis. Negative 10, comma, 8 is the next number with an open dot, so that's a parenthesis. Now, if I were to write this in set builder notation, which it asks you to do later on, I'm going to just briefly show you that and remind you that it's negative 10, x in the middle, 8 on the outside, and you're always going to use less than symbols. And in this case, because both dots are open, you're not going to have bars underneath them say equal to. Let's go to question 18 right away. Negative 5 less than n less than or equal to 2, right in interval notation. So I'm going to start by putting my negative 5 in, comma 2. And then because this guy does not have a bar underneath, I'm simply going to write a parenthesis. And because this guy has a bar underneath, I'm going to simply write a bracket. And that's how we close them in. Noticing that a parenthesis goes with the open circle, and it goes with the less than symbol. Then the bracket goes with the equal to bar. Okay, the first thing you want to do is distribute the 6 twice. So 6 times 1 equals 6. And 6 times 3k is 18k. And rewrite the left-hand side, negative 18 minus 6k. What I'm going to do is go ahead and bring that negative 6k over to the right. So I'm going to say, okay, plus 6k on both sides. Negative 18 on the left equals 6 plus 24k. And then I'm going to bring minus 6 to the left. So I have all my numbers on the left-hand side and all my letters on the right-hand side. So this will cancel out. I'll have negative 24 equals 24k. And the last step, because it says 24 times k, is to divide by 24. This will cancel out, and you're going to get an answer of k equals negative 1. Let's go to question 20. It says, how many solutions do these have? Well, remember, solutions are when two linear functions or two functions hit each other. So in this case, it hits one time, so this is one solution. If you notice, you have lines on top of one another, and you have double arrows. It's tough to see in my picture, so I just made it a little bit more visible. So that is infinite solutions. In the last picture, they don't touch at all. So if they don't touch at all, it would be no solutions. Okay, they would like you to graph in 21. They want you to graph these two linear equations and name their solution. So y equals negative x plus 4. The first thing I want you to do is get used to doing my m equals and my b equals, or you create a table and you say, all right, my x and my y, and you have to have 3 or more points. So it's your choice on what you would like to do, either the m and b or your x and y. So in the first one, my x is negative 1 and my b is 4. In my second equation, my m equals 2 and my b equals negative 8. So my first line, I'm going to do it in different colors. My first line, I'm going to begin at 4, so I'm going to go up to 4, put a dot, and then I'm going to go down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1. And there's a neat little tool that I can grab and go ahead and draw my line through. Make sure that you have arrows on it and your line goes all the way through your graph. I'm now going to pick a different color. And my next one begins at negative 8. So I'm going to count down 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And my slope says I'm going to go up 2 over 1. Up 2 over 1. Up 2 over 1. Up 2 over 1. I'm going to get my tool here. I'm going to go ahead and draw my line right through the grass. noticing that they cross right here. So I need to figure out what is that point. It is 1, 2, 3, 4 over on my x. So when I have my x, it's going to be 4 over. And I don't go up or down, so it's 0. So that is 4, 0 is the solution for that point. The next question, 22, is solving by using the systems of equations. So I put two question 22s down for a purpose. And the purpose for that is I'm going to show you how to do it two different ways. And you can choose which way you would like. The first method I would like to say is, okay, I look at the y's, and I say, hey, this is a 6 and this is a 3, so I can eliminate that very easily by multiplying the bottom by -2. Because remember, when I do the elimination method, I need to have a positive 6 up there and a -6 on the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to multiply the bottom by -2. And when I distribute once, twice, 3 times. So my new problem is going to give me 5x plus 6y equals 31. And then on the bottom I'm going to get 6x minus 6y equals 36. And it's going to be a negative 36. And a negative 6x up there. So now I can go ahead and eliminate this middle right in here. Bye-bye, gone. So 5 minus 6x gives me a negative x equals a negative 5. Divide by -1, divide by -1, x equals 5. Now, on the second 22, and if you can't see how to eliminate the y like that, what I would like you to do is just do the crisscross method. I'm going to multiply both. I'm going to take the 3 and I'm going to bring it up, and I'm going to bring the 5 down. And I'm going to make the 5 negative. And you have to distribute each time, just like we did in the first problem, but now you have to do a little bit more work. 15x plus 18y equals 93. And on the bottom you're going to get negative 15x, negative 15y, and you're going to get 90, negative 90. Now you're going to be able to eliminate your x's. Notice your numbers are much bigger. 18 minus 15 is 3y. 93 minus 90 is 3. You're going to divide by 3, divide by 3. Y is going to give me 1. So in both problems, okay, you still have to plug it back in. So back to the first 22 here, this x equals 5 is only part of my answer. I'm going to plug it back into the bottom one. So I'm going to get 3 times 5 plus 3y equals 18. 3 times 5 is 15 plus 3y equals 18. I'm going to minus 15 on both sides. You're going to get 3y equals 3. Divide by 3. Y equals 1, just like what we found out. So my final answer is going to be 5, 1 as that solution. The only difference between these two problems, this first 22 here, I just multiplied one of these guys. It's a less opportunity to make a mistake, but if you don't see that, you can eliminate the y's, what I want you to do is use the crisscross method. The 3 comes up, the 5 comes down, and you make it negative. Y equals negative 3. I'm going to go on my y-axis down to negative 3. I'm going to put a dot. I'm going to go ahead and grab my line, and I'm going to just draw my line at y equals negative 3. Doesn't give me a slope, just gives me my b. So therefore, that is my y-intercept. And here you just have to state my b is negative 3. And the next one, my m is 3. My b is negative 4. And remember, if you don't like doing the m and b, that is okay. Just go ahead and plug it into your calculator and get a table. So I'm going to begin at negative 4. And I'm going to go up 3 over 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. Grab my line, go right through my points, all the way up and through, and I have them graphed. 24, we're going to identify my 4 types of slopes, positive, negative, 0, or no, and I'm going to remind you how we do this. So the first guy here is my no slope, and the way I remember it is I say N-O. I can split up the word no, so that's no slope. The next guy is going uphill, so that is my positive slope. The next line is going downhill, so that's my negative slope. And the last guy, I can put the number 0 right on that number or on that line, and it won't roll anywhere, so that means that is my 0 slope. Question 26 just is the same thing as what we did before, solving an equation. However, now it has a decimal involved. Don't panic. It's okay. Let's go ahead and do the same thing and move it around. I'm going to take this negative 70.75 and move it over, so it's going to be a plus 0.75. This cancels out. That's going to give me 1x plus 3.5 equals negative 0.5. Now I'm going to do minus 3.5 on both sides. I'm going to get an answer of x equals negative 4. Question 27, what I would like you to do, it says find f of 4. Isn't this 4 in the x position? So I'm going to take that 4 and plug it in wherever I see an x. So I'm going to say 4 parenthesis 4 squared minus 5 parenthesis 4 minus 15. Notice I took that 4 and I plugged it in twice because I saw 2 x's. First thing I want to do is my exponent, so 4 squared is 16. So 4 times 16 minus 5 times 4 is 20 minus 15. 4 times 16 is 64 minus 20 minus 15, and you got to work left to right. 64 minus 20 is 44. 44 minus 15 is 29. Remember, you want to work that from left to right in order to get your answer. All right, question 28. Bill makes 30W plus 35 minus 10W, and Kenny makes 66 plus 11W minus 3W minus 8. Combine these expressions together to see how much money they are making. So all I want to do is combine these expressions. So I want to combine like terms, and I can use different colors. You can use different shapes. I have 30W minus 10W. So what is 30W minus 10W plus 11W minus 3W? So 30W, and I'll write it down so that it's nice and neat, minus 10W plus 11W minus 3W. Go ahead and combine that. So 30 minus 10 is 20. 20 plus 11 is 31. 31 minus 3 is 28W. And in blue now, I will do the positive 35 plus 66 minus 8, and that gives me a positive 93. So what I did was I did plus 35 plus 66 minus 8, and that gives me a positive 93. Alright, turn the page and go to question 29. I'm going to do minus 4 on both sides. Because I want to get y by itself, I'm going to get negative 3y. Please do not forget to bring down the negative with that 3. And I'm going to get 15. Divide by negative 3. Divide by negative 3. When I divide by a negative, I'm going to get my red pen here. When I divide by that negative, it means that that guy has to flip. So I'm going to say y is now greater than negative 5. I'm going to put a dot on negative 5. And it's going to be an open dot because there is no equal to bar, and I'm going to shade to the right. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.